Welcome, welcome, welcome. All I hear in my head today is the song Saturday by Ludacris because that's how I woke up feeling this morning. Like it's Saturday, it's beautiful out in California. Like it's just the
Gorgeous.
right amount of hot today. It's not like
Hmm.
terrible, yucky. And I just love recording on Saturdays because I'm well rested. Like during the week, I'm
Yeah.
already at 50% if we record midweek because life be lifing. We're corporate thugs during the day. And we both have jobs that suck your energy out because you have to work with people so much. So
Hmm.
to get on here and talk sometimes midweek is like a chore. On Saturdays,
Yeah.
it's like I'm ready to yap. What's going
I'm
on?
like, whoop, let's do it, girl. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So this video episode is going to be our Bravo Roundup. So we'll be talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Part 1. We'll be talking about the McBee Dynasty, and we'll be talking about Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. So we're super excited about those 3 episodes. Before we get started, as always, we want to remind you guys to like us and follow us wherever you take in content. We are literally everywhere. We're on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, TikTok. We're individually on
YouTube.
Threads, YouTube.
Yes.
Please, if you're
I'm getting
visual,
better at threads.
I love Threads.
You love
I love
threads.
Threads because
Love threads. I
I
love the
just
TikTok comments. You love threads.
yeah, I like to just say shit. And
Yeah.
that's what
I
Threads
love
is.
it.
Threads is just for people that like to say shit.
But don't you love that sometimes I'll interact with your threads like I don't know you?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of people do. That's the funnest part.
And your Instagram, your story post, I'll be talking to you like I just can't call
I
you.
know, I know. But that's like what's fun about it. Like I literally just get
Exactly.
on there and yap, and everybody is just on there yapping. And
Hmm.
when it is the funnest is when we're all watching the same show at the same time. Like when Love
Yeah.
Island was on, Threads, until people get
I
mean
miss
and
them.
nasty. But Threads is
Yeah.
so fun during Love Island. If you watch Big Brother, Threads is so fun if you watch Big Brother. But I'm done plugging Threads. Them niggas got enough money. They haven't
They could pay
monetized
us.
it yet. So, you know, that sucks. But until that happens, we have everything else. So, yes, to Courtney's point, YouTube. I like visuals. I love watching. I have all of my favorite YouTubers. We hope to be your favorite YouTubers if that's the category that you put us in. So, Courtney, drop into us your idea about the top threes.
Okay, so we're gonna do top five because it is the 20th anniversary. Me and Cherie have been watching Housewives since Orange County season one, episode one. We watch everything on Bravo pretty much. We are true Bravo girlies. So this 20th anniversary means a lot to us. It's very important to us. So we're gonna go over our top five housewives and then top three housewife moments. And do you want to go first, Cherie?
Yes, and I would also like to point out I'm a couple years older than Courtney, so like legit, she was in high school,
Yeah.
and I'd be like to my sister, my little sister, "When's your friend coming over that watches Housewives?" Because we would get together and talk Housewives. Like it was the
Yeah.
cutest little
For
thing.
decades now, for 20
Yeah.
years now.
Yeah, like I started watching with my mom, and what really is interesting is like my mom can't stand to watch any of this stuff now. So I'm like, "Oh my
My mom
gosh."
neither. It's so
Right?
rude.
And so like my
She
mom
like
put
low-key
me
talks about
on
them and I
to
don't like that.
like low key, my mom put me on to Bad Girls Club. My mom put me on to Housewives of Orange County. And so now she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you still watch this crap." And I'm like, is that going to happen to me as I get older? Am I going
I
to start
can't
to
believe you
hate this?
stopped watching this crap.
Right. Because you should see some of the crap she watches now, but I digress. Sorry, mom.
Girl, you
But
know my mom is a 90 Day Fiance warrior. She watches every iteration of it. It's like obscene.
Miss H,
Yeah, she
me and you,
loves 90
girl.
Day
Me and you, girl.
Fiance.
I love 90 Day. I just choose not to talk about it in public because they have a fandom that is like insane. And they're also insane. The 90 Day people, they
Tree, I'm
like to
gonna send you a
argue.
podcast. I think you would like to listen to these two gay guys, and that's how they got started with 90 Day Fiance, and they're really funny. I think you would appreciate
I love,
them.
and you know what? I know your mom also used to like Little Women, and I loved
Oh,
Little
used
Women.
to. She loves them. She loves that little family. She loves the little people.
Wait, is she watching? I don't know their names, but there's another little couple that's popular on TLC right now, and one of them is trans. They're both,
Oh,
I don't know if they're cerebral, if they have cerebral palsy. They're both little people and they're both in wheelchairs. But one of them, I believe, is a trans male, and then he has a
like girl
wife.
to boy.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm sure she does. She watches everything on 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, well,
That and
they have
Yellowstone.
their own show. It's like because you know how TLC is good for like those kind of shows. So it's like
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those like
yeah.
little people, big world type shows. I don't know the lore
Ah,
behind this couple, but I do see a lot of like
I'll have to
sound bites
ask
on
her.
TikTok about them.
I'll have to,
Um,
every time I talk to her, I'm like, I'll hear something background. And I hear all these accents from all over the world. I'm like, you watch a 90 Day Fiance? She's like, you know it.
Girl, my mom watches that black soap Beyond the Gates.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Courtney,
I
my
like a soap.
grandma is obsessed. That's their show, and I'm like, I mean, if you
Wait, what
like it,
channel is it on?
I don't even know.
Probably
Um,
own. It feels
I don't
ownish.
know if it's own. I feel like it's a network show, but I could be wrong. I
Beyond the
could be
Gates. I'm gonna have to try
wrong.
it out.
I think it might be
Okay, sorry.
CBS.
Ooh,
It's
even
an
better.
all-star cast. Do
Maybe.
you know he's in it? The medical examiner from Law and Order SVU.
I don't watch that show. It's too
Or
spooky for
it's like a
me.
lot of people that have been on other black things. Like one of the dudes from Queen Sugar is on it and stuff like that. But
CBS, I'm gonna watch.
yeah, it's real.
Oh, it's an actual soap opera because they have 342
Yeah, it
episodes.
comes on every day.
Oh, girl, I gotta catch up.
Yeah, it comes on every day. My
It would
grandma,
literally take
that
me
is
a
her
year to,
show.
okay. Oh God, I'm a little stressed out. Okay, I really have to catch up.
First of all, okay, so I'll go on and on if we don't get started soon, but me and my mom are talking this morning and my grandmother, like, shout out to this decade of woman. She worked really hard and her off days were Monday, Tuesday. When I used to stay over here when she was off, she'd get up at 5 a.m. because she did every other day anyways, but she would record all of her soaps on a VHS all week
Oh, I missed that. I missed
and
that.
start watching them at 5 a.m. with her coffee. And I mean, she did
I
this
love that.
ritualistically. Like, this was how she enjoyed her day. And
I used to
I
watch
just
my soaps
like,
after school.
yeah. And then when I was over and she was off and watched them in real time, it was like I knew how the day progressed by what was on TV. Like once, all my children came on, I knew it was time for lunch. When General Hospital came on, I knew work was about to get out. I was going to get picked up soon because that was later in the afternoon. By the time
Oh, that's
Oprah
so
came on
funny.
after that,
Yep.
I knew my
Oh
mom
my
was on the
God.
way.
I used to love my grandma had like this old little TV in the kitchen that she'd watch like the news and stuff while she's cooking. And so I would come home, she'd be finished cooking, and we'd sit there and watch Oprah. And it was like the best thing
Right?
ever on this little teeny tiny like old school TV. I wonder if she still has it. I'm sure she does.
Doesn't
I
it
should
just
get it
make
from
you
her.
feel warm and gushy
Yeah.
inside to remember things like that? I always hope that my grandma knows that like those little things like meant so
Yeah, I
much.
tell my grandma, and she is like a hard ass Taurus baddie. So she'll be like, okay, girl, that's so
Okay.
good.
Oh,
And
okay.
then when I go to hug her, she flinches. She flinches, Sheree.
So
She does not like to be
my
touched.
grandma is a big old teddy bear, which is interesting to me because we're both Aries 4 days apart, and I'm not. Like
No,
we're
I feel like
huggers.
Aries are touchy people. That has to be something else in your chart.
Yeah, my
They're like,
lover
you guys are
is a
lovers.
an Aries, and I wonder often, are you sure? Because he's a March Aries, and I'm like, you're more
He
Pisces
gives a lot of
alignment.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives a lot of like sweet and sensitive and like, like how Denisha is, like very into your what you like.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's get started with Roa because clearly I'm in my feelings today. But no, I just this kind of stuff is like our soaps. And so it's
It
like
is.
I too now at this point in my life because I like to enjoy my shows in peace. I do get up early like a lot and watch my shows while I
You
start.
love to do that. I like to watch
Yeah.
it when I'm starting my work day and I'm like going through my like emails and stuff, and it's like, my ladies, my girls.
Yeah, it's quiet in the house. Like the dogs aren't up yet. Nobody's up to interrupt me and ask me questions in the middle. So I do like being able to like just quietly watch my shows and watch the sun come up. Similarly, I like to do the same thing really late at night. Like once the house is dead, everybody's asleep, we've done the chores for the day. Quiet time, kick my feet up, watch my shows. So,
Best.
Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. First of all, let's
No, we're doing
talk.
our top five
Let's.
housewives.
Oh yeah, top five housewives. So go first.
Okay, so number one, duh, Nene Leakes.
Of course, of
Number
course,
two, Teresa Giudice.
of
Love
course.
her. Number three, Luann de Lesseps, the Countess. Number four, Portia Williams. And number five, Lisa Vanderpump.
Okay, that is a solid list. That's a solid list. So for me, yeah, the goat. The only right answer for number one is Nene.
The only right
The
answer.
prototype, honestly, right?
Truly.
My second favorite in her heyday. Don't put in what she's got going on now. In her heyday, that's what I went off of. So while she was on the show, Bethany Frankel, period.
She was great in her heyday.
Period. Bethany Frankel. And
She was iconic.
that's like what I went off of. Not like what's ever been in the headlines about them, just straight up the show. And did I like them on the show? So Bethany Frankel was always up there for me
That's
as
solid.
like,
That's a solid choice. Honestly, Bethany is respect. She may
yes,
be crazy now, but she gave us a lot.
yes.
Like,
Um,
why would you do this to me? Question mark. We got that because of Bethany being iconic.
yes. Number three, this is going to be very controversial for a lot of people, but I have my reasons. Candy Burris. Candy Burris to
Hmm,
me was the epitome of
that's not
what
a bad choice.
of what represented us at that time. And
Hmm,
growing up black, my mother and sister will tell you I loved Escape.
you
Like,
do.
I loved
You do,
Escape
honey.
growing up. So seeing her being able to catch up with what had been going on in her life since then, she was a huge star to us. Like other audiences may not have known
Yeah.
who Candy was, but that was huge to me for Bravo as an accomplishment to get somebody of her caliber. And for
No,
me,
honestly, I remember that being
honestly,
such a huge deal. I was like,
yeah,
are you sure you're not too good for us over here?
yeah. And honestly, Candy to be a celebrity, so to speak, but in her hometown, she is a huge celebrity. And to open up
Mm-hmm.
her life to us in the way that she did with Mama Joyce and her antics, searching for love. AJ
Girl,
died in season
I'm
one.
rewatching season two, her first season right now. Mama Joyce don't want her to be happy.
Girl, I know she's somewhere kicking her ashy feet together that her and Todd ain't together anymore.
Oh, she threw a party.
Yeah,
You know it.
so we saw her fiance die in her very first season. We saw Riley and her father struggle with issues, and that's a really common topic in our community, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of how rich or poor you grew up. So Candy Burris is up there for me. Fourth, Dorinda Medley. You
She
know she
almost
can
made the
do no
list.
wrong in my eyes.
She, my Sagittarius queen almost made the list, but Luann's arc is just her arc is like nothing I've ever seen in my life. I love the Countess. You can never make me hate Luann. She
My
would have to
fifth,
say
my
the
fifth
hard
would have
ER.
been Luann. And here's the thing about Luann that like has made me, if you would have asked me this like 8 years ago, no. But what I like about Luann is representative of how most people would handle what she's been through. I'm not
Hmm.
going to admit on national TV that I fucking spiraled after my divorce and I'm whoring myself out looking for love. My
And then I had an
children
open
hate me.
relationship with my first husband, and he was
Yeah,
never around.
I kept up appearances, like, because I didn't want the world to know that my personal life was a mess, which caused her to drink and, always kind of teeter totter back and forth with who she wanted to actually be and who she had to act like she was. And
Yeah.
so we've seen the progression of her morph into who she actually wanted to be. And I think it's been really cool to watch, if I'm being honest.
It's fascinating.
It is
Luann
fascinating.
fascinates me. Everything she does, her TikToks, watching back old, like she's a fascinating human being.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of her.
Yeah, and I have honorable mentions to like Teresa. I have honorable mentions to like
Sonia,
other, yeah, I have other Portia is up there. She just didn't make the list because Portia has just started to get on that list for me in like the last couple of years.
yes. And
Um,
I think it's because I'm watching Atlanta. She's so on my brain.
yeah,
And also she's had a fascinating trajectory and her whole evolution as a woman. And
yeah,
Cordell is not perfect
yeah,
by far to the Queen of
yeah.
Thoughtlandia.
And those are like, honestly, it's hard to even have a top five. Like, all of my favorite housewives are housewives that finally, like, that came on the show with a guys and eventually dropped it and was like, oh, fuck it. This is who I am. Like,
Yep, and
like,
that's what I love, especially because her and Luann were so like prim and proper and da 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 da. And now Luann's like, not really.
yeah, she's letting it all hang out. She's very truthful. Like back in the day, she didn't really speak her mind unless it was benefiting somebody else. Like Luann
Hmm.
was very much like a pick me to her friend, to her girlfriends that she would put in a high position in her head, like when her and Jill were buddy buddy. I like
Yeah.
that she stands on her own now. She marches to her own
Hmm.
feet.
She
Like
does not
I
care
would
what
dare
anybody else
Bethany to try
says.
to go at her now the way she used to go at her like at Stone
Oh
Manor.
my
You know what I
God.
mean? So
So
totally
let's
different
go into our
woman.
top moments.
Okay.
My number one top moment is any Berkshire's trip. Any of them.
Yeah, so in it, I don't in no particular order, the first thing that came to mind was the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Cheers to the girls' weekend.
Yes. Let's
That entire like 3 episodes was a fever dream from the color of that man's house on the inside and all of the wild decoration.
it, it
This
was
was the
so
beginning
Miami.
of Kim really starting to think she was a pop star.
Oh
Um,
my God. Like,
like
sweetie.
yes, like there with Cynthia and that tragic wedding to Peter and not being able to afford to pay for it and breaking down, like one of my top 3 favorite Housewives moments.
I also love Luann falling in the bushes. That's what made me love Luann. I said, "Oh, we're learning the real Luann, and I think I like her." And then my other one was the New Jersey christening. To me, it was a very important moment in TV history. I think it's more important than that table flip she did because it just
Yeah.
showed how deep family wounds go.
And how it started with Danielle at that reunion saying, "Did you go to your nephew's christening?" And her
No, did
flipping
you go to the
Andy over.
birth of your nephew?
The birth of
Remember,
your
it
nephew.
started at the birth because
Yeah.
they christened him pretty early.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just like piecing that together. Because at first we're all like, huh, what?
Yeah.
And the internet wasn't what it was back then. So
Right.
piecing it all together at that christening
It was
was,
all going off rumors and vibes. Like it was
yep,
all just rumors. Like you would just hear things on Twitter and stuff back in those days, and like
hmm,
on random blogs and stuff that the
like
B
Lipstick
cast members.
Alley,
Yeah.
Reality Tea, and it was
Yeah.
always so random. So it's like piecing it all together, and then now we can go back and they've talked more about it. That episode was just, and I rewatched it like last week, and I was like, this hits.
My
This hits
second
hard.
favorite
Oh,
is Amsterdam,
yeah.
Beverly Hills. And I hate to even give Beverly Hills a moment,
That was
like
in my
she's
top
my
five.
girl, but like Kim Richards was pure cinema.
She
Like
said,
that and you and
line
like
the
the
bitches
way
up.
she like everyone likes to talk about the moment where Lisa threw the glass, but let's talk about the fact that Kim didn't even flinch. She didn't even flinch.
That was a reaction because Kim was lighting her ass up. So it's
Yes.
not that iconic. You lost your cool. You weren't being a badass. Lisa lost her cool, and Kim was as calm as a cucumber. She was just
Never, but
the only time
that sister of
she
hers
got
got up and flew out with her cape on her
no.
shoulders.
The best part is, and I say this out loud to myself all the time, and Kyle, what the fuck was that? I think about
And
that randomly all the time because what
the
the
fact that even
fuck
on
was
Ultimate Girls Trip, Kyle is like, yeah, I just don't like confrontation. I just couldn't do it.
Wait, you know what I also quote from Kim often to Chandler? She had my back like a real sister,
Real
like Kathy
sister, like
would.
a real sister. Yeah, and then my third favorite moment, let me see. Oh, the Housewives of Atlanta, the dungeon, or I don't know if it was a dungeon party, but the sex party with
Oh,
Nene
the
and all of
pajama
them.
party.
Yes. So shout out
Um,
to Funky
Nene, you
Dineva.
look nice.
You
You
know,
don't.
shout out to Funky Dineva because back in the days when he used to review this show, in
Oh
those
my God, he
times,
was the
he
best.
was in his bag. And what was cool about that season is like, and this is what I love about Atlanta is like Atlanta really is for us, by us, because yes, a gamut of audience watches Atlanta, but there's little intricacies that you just don't pick up if you're not black and if you're not a certain kind of black. So Christopher Williams was on that season. And he, for those of you that don't know, for the black people that are too young to know this, he was a very famous R&B singer known for a really famous song on the what's that movie with Wesley Snipes and all the niggas love it? New Jack City.
Nino, Nino Brown, that's his
Yeah,
character.
that's
New
his
Jack
character.
City.
New Jack City. So there was a really famous soundtrack for that. And what he got famous for was this song that went, "Don't wake me, I'm dreaming." That's what he was. I promise you, that's exactly what it sounds like. So what was crazy about that season is he shows up and he's so washed up. And it's like, of course, Kenya has a past with him. Kenya knows this guy because because the rumors in like, okay, so I'm very black, you guys, and I watch shows like on BET called, no, TV1 called Unsung. And Unsung is like
You
behind
love
the music.
Unsung. That's your
Unsung is
jam.
like behind the music, but for black artists. And when I say black
Yeah,
artists,
that's a good way of describing it. It's
yeah,
exactly what it is.
for
Behind the
black
music.
artists. But when I say black artists, I don't mean like Beyonce. I mean like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and like SWV and Earth, Wind,
Yeah,
and
like the
Fire.
Whispers or something.
Yeah, right. And so Christopher Williams on his Unsung, like it came out that he had a bad crack habit and all this stuff. So when he gets
Didn't
on
they all?
Real Housewives of Atlanta, he definitely looked like he used to be on crack and stuff. So when that lady was like coming for Candy and Todd, like this is all building up to this night in the hotel. So when this lady's like coming for Todd and Candy's relationship, and it's like you're with Christopher Williams. And so he had a brown tooth in the front at this
No.
at this. So fucking Nynaeva in his videos would be like Christopher Williams and his boo boo tooth, whatever, whatever. Then at the same time, this is when Chuck, remember Chuck and Monique?
Oh my God, yes.
This is
I
when
tried to
Chuck and
block them out.
remember when he told Candy and Phaedra that they was just mad because they wanted to be on the team?
And I was like, ew,
So that's
ew.
Christopher Williams. Then you had Chuck and Monique. So when everything went down and these idiots start brawling in the hotel room, first of all, how big was that hotel room?
I don't think they were in a ho they
It
gave that they
was.
were
They
in
were
a
at the
conference
inter
room.
they were in the Intercontinental.
I thought it was like a conference room because it was big
It had to be the penthouse
and
suite.
empty. Maybe that's what it was because Nene would have them in a conference room.
Yeah, yeah. And so Nene's already in Candy's word. She was like, "Is Nene geeked up or something?" She's like acting weird and she was on some
She
weird
was
kind of
on one.
energy. And everybody just ends up brawling. Kenya's gay friend Brandon was there, ends up fighting Apollo. And what
That was
was funny
crazy.
is in Funky Dineva's review of the episode, he was like, "Look at Chuck. He just stood there next to the damn dresser like this and let everybody fight in front of his wife." And literally, he had a still shot, and Chuck was just like this.
Sure, I remember that because now it's coming back to me, and he was
Literally, like it was
like,
crazy.
look
That's when
alive.
Candy was like, "I will drag her ass," about Mallory because Mallory.
Damn her
And then remember
ass.
Cynthia retold the story the next day and was like, "I don't know what Candy was going through. You better back up." You
You can't wait to get
so
to that season.
yeah, so that immediately came to my mind when I thought of like my favorite moments. The majority of my favorite moments come from the Real Housewives of Atlanta or New York.
No, Cherie, did you see that TikTok I sent you? It was a compilation of Nene just
Yep,
saying funny things.
yep.
It was, you guys, it was 10 minutes. I watched it probably twice one night because it was so funny.
Yeah, and some of her best moments, of course, are reunion episodes because she's just
Hmm.
unhinged at the reunion. Because when I rewatched that show, so many reunions were like an entire couch just coming at Nene. Like an
Yep.
entire cast, not one
Me and
person having her
Chandler's
back.
favorite thing to say to my dad when he makes us mad, we always go, "Don't make me call
For
Portia."
sure.
And then he always goes, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Exactly."
Yeah, that's definitely in my top five, especially because later on, like a couple seasons later, she tries to like reprimand Portia for being violent, and Portia was like, "Didn't you choke somebody? Did you
But
see
he
me
goes,
choke
"But you
somebody?"
didn't see it on camera."
Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh, I
okay.
love those ladies.
Speaking of, the reunion opens up with Andy, like he always does, going into all the ladies' rooms. They all do look very good. I think Atlanta, like of all the casts of Housewives, they usually show out at reunions, like looks wise. They usually look pretty
Yes.
good in Atlanta. So he's going to everybody's rooms. Of course, he goes to see Portia. They're saying they're gonna get naked, get naked, get naked because she's getting her hair done.
Andy
Drew
loves
comes
that woman.
out in her new body. What did you think about how Drew looked?
I thought she looked normal.
She looked the same. Like it was giving Brittany
She
from
looked,
the Valley.
she looked the same, like
I have
exactly the
to say,
same.
even though Kelly's outfit was very much drama, I really liked how she looked. And I hate to give anything to Kelly, but I really thought it was giving Ursula. It was like it didn't go with the Scottish theme necessarily, and it was giving costume, but I don't know. I liked it.
I would have liked it if it was on someone else. I actually liked her dress. It
What
looks
did you think
silly
about
on
the fact
Kelly.
that we didn't get to see like Phaedra talk to Jasmine Crockett? I thought that would have been nice.
I thought that was weird.
Because I
Like,
mean, Phaedra had nothing else going on this season, so it would
yeah,
have been nice to see that that's where she's headed and is into
like out
politics.
of all the things you showed me, I had to see Kelly get new teeth and then that extended scene where Shami is on top of her, then she gets these big ass flowers, but I don't get to see Phaedra talking about politics. It was just like I feel like, is this Phaedra's first season back in Atlanta or
Second,
second?
second,
Was she a friend of last season?
I think so. Yeah,
I think they're like microdosing her to us. I don't need it. I need full throttle.
yeah, because
Like,
otherwise it's not
it's
really
weird.
giving much other than her feuding with Pinky, who's pregnant. If anybody cares, like I figured when that
I
rumor
don't.
started going around online that somebody on the couch is pregnant, I figured it was her because. And this is no shade. When I saw photos of her reunion look, her face did look fuller. Um,
I was gonna say she looks pregnant in the face. She
yeah,
had that
so
because like that pregnancy face. It's not fat. It's just like it's round and supple.
yeah, so she's pregnant. Andy announces that this season he's going to throw in questions from the ladies. What do you think about that?
I thought that was cute. I thought that was funny. And it's like it gives them a way to be shady without like jumping in and it doesn't make them look mean. So I liked it. I think they should have forever reunion.
I watch along as we record, and what I noticed about this reunion is they spent a good first 15, 20 minutes literally just yapping. Like there's no
Yeah.
actual packages, which speaks to how light Real Housewives of Atlanta is. Like their shade and their
Hmm.
issues, other than what's going on with Portia and Shamia. But it's light. It's not that deep. It's not that serious
Yeah.
to where like we have to sit and watch with our blood boiling, like with some other Bravo franchises. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have like you don't have to take a side necessarily because they're all like ridiculous. So, but a good portion of the front of this reunion is them literally just yapping. They bring up the whole, black situation with Drew. What are your thoughts on this? Because I don't
I
care.
have none because it's stupid. I literally ignored that whole segment. Everybody knows Black. Who cares? Most people in
Do
Atlanta
you
I
know
hear
what
are
it is that he
scammers.
did that's like to scam people?
No. Like they're not, it's like this is such a nothing burger. Like I don't even want to talk about Black. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I'm just like, Drew, yeah, like why are we getting any of this? Like they talked
It's a
about
waste
that
of
all the
everyone's
way
time.
to a commercial.
Like next.
Drew brought out that prop. I guess Andy felt like it landed. I thought it was ridiculous.
I
Um,
mean, Drew's getting better at her comedic timing.
what do you
That was
think
one of her
about
better
them
props.
saying that they think that Drew is Portia in training?
Um, I think she knows where the winning team is and she's on it. And I like the A team. I think they have great chemistry. I think they have great vibes. They don't give loser. I mean, Drew just gives like corny sometimes. But that's what I like. That's why I've learned to like Drew. I used to be Drew's biggest hater. I like her corny ass now. It
Yeah.
kind of feeds my soul a bit. Someone has to be that kind of delusional corny to keep the blood flowing through our veins.
Yeah, I don't hate Drew. I never really have though, the way everybody else has.
Oh, I feel like you low-key secretly love Drew.
I want to see Drew win for some reason. And maybe it's because again, hashtag growing up black. Maybe it's because I grew up watching Drew on various things growing up. You know, she's always been like
Yeah.
kind of like how Gabrielle Union was in the beginning of her career, where she was always in the
Mm-hmm.
background of sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah.
So has Drew. And so, also coming on her first seasons and seeing what she was dealing with Ralph. Yeah, I've always kind of just had a soft spot for Drew. I hope
Yeah. And
that
I'm learning to have that too.
yeah, I hope that now that her divorce is finalized and the dust is settling, if it's best for the kids that while you're working, they're with their dad, I think that's okay. It sucks that you have to pay child support. Um, but if you're gone more than you're home and the kids are suffering in the aspect of
Fine.
not going to school and stuff, then fine. Do I think that Ralph did that for that reason? No, I don't. But
No, Ralph did it to spite her, but let me tell you something about me. If I ever have to, unfortunately get married and get divorced, kids are going with my husband.
yeah. Yeah, I
Kids are
mean,
going with him. I'll
you
be the
have
weekend, the fun
kids.
parent. Like,
Sorry, I'm trying to
like
adjust my chair and I'm shaking the
he
table.
he did that to be an asshole. Point blank, period.
Yeah, he definitely did it to be a jerk and to be spiteful and probably as a way to keep the house, justify keeping the house, and
Mm-hmm.
also so that she can have to pay him child support.
Yep. He wants to hurt her where he wants to hit her where it hurts, and she makes more money than him, clearly. And he's just a loser.
And I
He's a loser.
wonder, if him having the kids, if that includes her son Josiah, that's not his. Because
No, I thought they said no.
so then in that case, on the flip side too, you're keeping the siblings apart more than they'll be together and they're used to being in the home together. So I think that's something, but at the end of the day, it's
She's
not the
just not
worst.
a nice person.
Yeah. Andy brings up the package with Portia and her dating life this season. And I thought that was it again, it speaks to Portia's arc. Well, first of all, he brings up the whole Mike thing. I'm not addressing Mike because I don't believe Mike was a real relationship.
No.
I've seen Mike on other dating shows, on other networks. So I don't buy any of that. But he asks her about Sway. She lets us know that Sway is and her are officially together. She is in love, and
She's in love, honey.
Sway is very successful, so she's doing things for her financially,
Oh,
which,
Sway is building a big ass house. I wonder if Portia and PJ are going to move in because it is like from the ground up. I
yeah,
saw it randomly on TikTok. Did you see that?
she seems genuinely happy. I didn't see that. No. No.
Mm,
But she seems genuinely happy. She seems like she said her mother's supportive, which means everything because if your mom's not supportive of your relationship in any
hmm
kind of way, it just makes life so hard. What I like about Portia versus what Kyle Richards isn't doing in a similar situation is Portia is being 100 about everything and she is showing it. She's showing the rigmarole. We have suspected this about Portia since the dungeon accusation days when Candy said you wanted to da 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 in the club. And it's always kind of been said about Portia in the background. So if that's the case and she was hiding out, I'm glad she can live in her truth. Kyle
Mm-hmm.
Richards wanted to play in our face and bring her girlfriend on the show, then say I'm not gay. Then when her girlfriend comes is off the show, you want to say you can go Brad or Angelina, and you wanted us to be glad that you finally admitted it. But low key, they say you've been dating this girl in the background for years now, and you just don't film about it. Like Portia has done this right. And yes, Kyle's from a different time period and things like that are things
No,
people
yeah, I
say,
guess.
but
Because this is the thing I think is the difference. Still wants her marriage back. Portia has released herself from all of the men. And I'm not saying because they're men, but she's released herself from those relationships and she no longer desires them. And I
right.
think Kyle's issue is Kyle A likes to look a certain way, which is put together and perfect and whatever. And she still wants Mauricio back. If he got his act together right now, I mean, in this moment, she would open him back up to their Encino home with big welcome arms. That's all she wants is her marriage back together.
Yeah.
Mauricio has no interest.
Well, spoiler
He
alert
has released
ahead.
himself from that marriage.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I saw a clip for this upcoming episode on Sunday of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, and Kyle wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. She's really emotional because it's like, I think what would be her and Mauricio's
Oh,
30-year
yeah, that
wedding
was sad.
anniversary. And she said he called her and was like, how did we get here? I just don't know how we got here. You know, they're both very regretful. And I don't know, part of me thinks there's a reason why neither of them have shot the gun on just going and getting an attorney and starting things. I think that they're both having a midlife crisis where they're like, let me
For
get some things out of my system. And I think they're going to get back together.
100%. I hope so. I like their vibe together because, like I've told you before, Mauricio and Kyle got married when they were like 22 or something. So
Well,
he's
when
never
he
been
was,
able.
she's older than him.
That's right, that's right. So he's never been able to be a hot boy. And now he has a lot of money. I think, he went through a midlife crisis, as all men do, married or single. And, I don't believe men know how to be single. I think he likes going around with all these girls, but he's also of a certain age and he's probably tired. And I
We've
feel
seen it
like they're
happen
at,
before, right? With Nene and
yeah,
Greg.
I think they're at a weird spot where it's a little awkward to get back together. But I think if they just kind of like get over it, I think they can come back together. I hope they do. I'm the biggest advocate of divorce if you're unhappy, but I also am an advocate of marriages making it work, even if you have to take a few years apart.
Yeah, well,
Like
speaking of
make it,
being an advocate of making
no.
it work, so apparently is Vicky, because in that same clip I saw, she was
She
like, I
just got
feel
to let it go.
she was like, I feel like Kyle goes, I feel ashamed of myself. Vicky was like, you should. You're telling your kids that you give up and that you guys just quit when times get hard. Like the one thing that I like kind of love is that we see Vicky regret in real time divorcing Dawn, and that
Do you know
like
what,
it was not
Shree?
worth it.
When she divorced Dawn, it pissed me off. Was he a little mean to her sometimes? Yes.
I
He's a
don't think
grumpy old
Dawn wanted to
man.
be on that show.
No, he didn't. He was grumpy, so he was a little flippant with her sometimes, but he cared about her a lot, and more importantly, he cared about her children, and he got mad that she never let them adopt him. Never let him adopt them. And I understand their dad, they knew where to find him. He was alive, but he had no interest in it. So I get how that could be kind of like weird or awkward or whatever, but I just hated how she thought she was going to find better. And
Yeah,
Don was a great man. He
yeah,
still is close with Brianna. And if Michael wasn't so aloof, I'm sure they have a fine relationship. But Michael, he's very his own guy. But I'm just like, Vicky, the jig is up. Give it up. Keep Don's name out of your mouth because you hurt him.
yeah,
And that's why he took your money, because he was hurt.
yeah. Let's keep that conversation in mind for when we talk Ultimate Girls Trip, because I have a lot to say about Miss Vicky as it relates to that.
Oh my
But
God.
as the episode keeps playing here on my leg, my phone's on my leg. Um, Andy brings up to Shamia, like, what do you feel about Portia being basically gay now? And I was just like, who cares what Shamia thinks? Like, why is this a thing? I heard Shamia's
I was
kind of gay
like,
too.
I was like, are you trying to start some drama, Mr. Cohen?
Yeah, I mean, so
Don't ask my enemy about me.
do you think Shamia was being shady by saying Happy Pride? I
Yes.
mean, Avi.
I mean, I would say happy pride and be shady to my own sister. Like if Chandler was like, I'm a lesbian, I'd be like, happy pride, child.
Yeah, I mean, or I would, always be sending that, oh, I got you this bag of Skittles because you gay. You know that. Have you ever seen that? Oh, and I got you this cookie with a rainbow on it because you gay and stuff. Like that's,
Gay.
I would do that. Like it's,
I
they're
I'm
not
just
friends.
like I'm over Shamia. I want her off my screen.
What do you think about K Michelle constantly feeling the need to like shade Drew's music? Because how I see that whole situation is if I'm Mariah Carey, right? And in this situation, like Kay is the Mariah Carey, you're the one that has, done arenas and charted and things like
Yeah.
that. If I'm Mariah Carey, I'm not going to shade someone who's like 18 steps below me, like in the
Well,
craft. I would just
this
be
is
like,
the
oh
thing.
yeah, okay, I wish her the best.
Kay is kind of a loser. I love her down. I think she's funny. I think she's charming. But to her core, she's a wee bit of a loser. And that's why she goes out of her way to shade Drew's music. It's weird. Like
Yeah.
how Mariah Carey says to Jennifer Lopez, I don't know her.
Let's talk
Who is
about
that?
Kelly feeling the need to constantly be in Portia's pockets because they have words back and forth, where it ends up with Portia saying something along the lines of, "You can't be worried about Simon's house, but you and Shamia's townhouse." And from there, they
I love
spar
that
off.
line.
And here's the thing, like Kelly came on this show being obsessed with, girl, give that man back his house and all of these things. It is
I don't,
giving that you're jealous that your settlement hasn't worked out the same because in real time, we know Portia has finally everything's closed out in her divorce and she
mhm.
outright owns that house now
And this
and
is
the
the
Rolls
thing.
Royce.
Gotta throw that Rolls Royce in there. I don't understand people's obsession. When the news broke about the divorce settlement, and Simon's like, oh, the real flex says I left with no debt. But to me, Portia just really likes that house. So it's almost like she bought her dream home. It's
Through
not like,
you.
oh,
Through
well,
you really paid for it
yeah, well,
actually.
she has the debt. She has the debt from it. But it's like, it's not really a debt because she can afford it. She's
Right.
not
And
house
she's
poor.
gotten with
Like, she
somebody
seems like she's
now
doing
that if
fine.
they get together, they can also help her financially if that's what she
Yeah,
chooses to do. And
she,
we saw that Portia's not stupid with money with what we saw her do with her mother's
thank
house.
you. That's what I was gonna say. You can't have all these. Well, she doesn't have a mortgage on her mom's house, but the bank is not gonna let you just buy all these houses if you financially cannot afford it. Like, do people understand you have to give all of your financials when you go to buy homes and stuff? It's not like
And in
buying
a
a shirt.
divorce where they hire like forensic financial
Yeah.
investigators and stuff like that, they're going to make sure she can take that asset. They'd love to give it to a man. They're going to make sure she can take that asset.
Or
Um,
force you to sell it or sell it to the bank back or whatever. So I'm like, that's just to me, that's not the the insult you think it is. Because Kelly, you just got sued and have to pay someone like $100,000, which we know you don't have.
Oh,
And
Gary. It's
you're
Gary
renting.
who
Yeah,
Angela brought
Gary.
up in the reunion. And
Who's Gary?
who's
Who's
Gary? Who's
Gary?
Gary? Gary is the man that just won a judgment against you, Kelly. And so that's the thing. And we see in a clip for the future episodes of the reunion that Phaedra's going to tell her something along the lines of like, if you're going to pop it about what a business person you are, you need to pay your bills. And I don't know if she's talking to her or Pinky, but it could be either because
It
her, I
applies to
know,
both.
yeah, I know her and Pinky,
What I
you
think
know,
people also need to understand, not everyone is meant to be a business owner.
yeah,
Kelly wants to be a business owner in like the way Romy and Michelle were like, we're business women.
right, exactly,
The way
exactly.
Mia went in and fluffed some brochures.
What do you think about this whole thing with like Kay feeling like Portia should have told her about the guy she was dating that they shared, I guess?
I mean, sure, but also I just don't think it's that deep to Portia to think about it like that.
I think Portia looks at like dudes a lot like how dudes look at women. Like, oh, this is just another one of my hoes. Like, it's not that deep or whatever. Her and
Exactly,
Phaedra
like it was
clearly
never that deep.
share men all the time. Atlanta, from what I understand, the dating pool is very small for women because there's way more women down there than there is men.
That must be a
So
Southern thing.
yeah. So what's interesting to me about Portia and Kay is that Portia wants to be Kay's friend so bad, but Kay just
So
doesn't.
bad.
And it's like you are giving Toya, Rashida, Candy, you're giving that group so much shine, and they're not getting paid off this show. Like your PT, like the thing is, you messed with those girls as much as they messed with you at some point. At some point, the gloves were off in both directions.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, you made enemies with the wrong one. I don't agree with why they made K Michelle their enemy. Y'all will have to go back and watch Love and Hip Hop to understand the intricacies of that. Like I would have to do a Venn diagram and a
I
separate
was gonna say,
episode.
we gotta pull out a whiteboard.
Yeah. But my point is that like K Michelle, because Shamia is friends with these girls, because Shamia is also a Georgia peach. She's from the A, born and bred. She's very popular where she's from. And she was friends with a lot of these women long before she married Gerald, long before she got on this show. It's how she's connected to Housewives outside of Portia, is that she's also friends with Candy, and Candy is friends with all these women. Ti Tiny Ti's wife. It's all this like what I call the Two Live crew in Atlanta. Monica the singer. It's all these people. So for somebody like Kay, who's also in the music industry, because half of those women are in the music industry or tied to the music industry. So for her to come, she's from Tennessee. They won't let her in the club of homegirls. It's like there's got to be other women in Atlanta. You're sitting on a cast of other women in Atlanta that you can be friends
Portia is
with.
begging to be your friend, but like I said, K Michelle is like a bit of a loser in the sense of like she just can't be let herself just be great. You have this cast, they're fangirling over you. Accept it. Why are you she's so paranoid. She needs to like smoke some weed or something and chill. Drink a glass
Um,
of wine.
I'm not trying to be a bitch, but I want to check the Carfax on like the stats that K Michelle gives on being like the first black woman signed in Nashville. Because I'm sorry, isn't Tanner Adele signed?
There's Tanner Adele, there's Raina Roberts, that's her last name. There's, oh my God, Brittany. What's her last name? Brittany, not Britney Spears. Brittany, whatever. I love her. Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know if they're signed to Nashville labels per se. Maybe I'm ignorant in making this statement, but she makes a lot of
Yeah,
like
they might be signed to like Columbia
Columbia. Yeah.
Country.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, like maybe I'm wrong about that, but she just like it's like on the grand scheme of who K Michelle is, even in the R&B world, like she's like there's the A list, there's the B list, there's the C list. I'd put her in the middle of the B list. Like K Michelle is not Monica. K Michelle is not
Yeah,
Janae Aiko, because these are the girls that are on the charts. She's not Summer Walker. She's not selling out those arenas, right? So it's
no.
like she's in, and I'm sorry, I didn't love the songs. At least, I mean, she sounded, in the words of Randy Jackson, pitchy.
She
Um,
sounded horrible. Horrible. I
yeah,
was embarrassed.
yeah. And so, and she's always kind of had these antics, even on Love and Hip Hop. And I'm like, you don't think like how you act gets in your own way of like maybe why you're not busting down the door for these record labels and maybe they're not pushing your music the way you think they should because you act insane. Like you can't reason with K Michelle until way
Can't.
after the fact. It's weird.
She's a lot, but I like her on the cast. I don't want her to leave. I want Pinky to be friend of, and I want Shamia gone, and I want Kelly gone. Bring in somebody else.
Yeah. Also what was interesting was K Michelle kind of bringing up that her and her husband kind of have an open relationship situation.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like when you have a lot
As
of money on the table, like you already don't live an Orthodox life. Like they're never probably in
yeah,
the same place at the same time. She travels a lot for work. And she brought up a point too about her many surgeries and how that can leave a man very deprived depending on how long it takes her to heal. There are people that just see sex as sex. And as long as you
yeah.
like know where
As
home
she says, ain't
is,
paying no bills. I mean, as my gay friends tell me that the straights need to accept a more non-monogamous life and they'd be happier. I do see logic in that. I don't know if that's for me, but I also understand.
yeah. I mean, I'm from the
Like the
mindset
whole
that
thing with
all
people are
men,
saying,
go ahead.
no, like people are saying like Andy is on like Grindr or whatever, and I'm like, you guys, a lot of gay couples are open.
They're saying
It's
that
not
about his
cheating.
partner as
Next, that's
well.
not news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
like that's
saying that
not
about his
news to me.
partner
They're two
too.
men. They're two men,
Um,
and they're both hot.
the majority of the end of this reunion, well, the last stretch is them as a cast trying to work out with K Michelle that like either you're gonna try to be friends with us, girl, or you're not. Like this is an ensemble
And
cast.
Andy all but said it too.
Yeah, this is an ensemble cast. We're allowed to have our own separate opinions. We're like, you need to like not make it so we have to walk on eggshells around you. We literally don't know what we can do or say that can make you like feel comfortable around us.
It's too much.
Yeah, Andy had to tell her to stop blasting off in Twitter in the real moment. And I'm sorry, in the moment, because again, it's like after the season's over, you make progress with the ladies so that you guys can pick up next season with that same momentum. If you start popping shit from stuff that happened 6 months ago, it makes these women think like, oh, she's still not over it. She's not a real ass bitch because we talked about this. We got over this at the reunion, and here she is again on Twitter saying stuff.
Like, enough.
She admits that she's overly sensitive. And again, I'm like, maybe being on a show with an ensemble cast is just not for you. Like, you have to have a thick skin to hang out in a large group of women
Yeah.
as it is, like, even in just in regular life. So, being on a show like this where everybody's a boss in their own right, because that's the other thing. I think K. Michelle, from previous shows she's had when she had her own show, she had a show on VH1 years ago that highlighted her life as a singer, and everybody on the show that she called a friend worked for her. It was like make
I
that
think I
Jonathan
remember
makeup
this.
guy, Paris, her ex-best
Yeah.
friend, and everybody on the show that she called a best friend worked for her. It was kind of like Stassi. It was like, they were
Yeah.
all kind of her flunkies. And so my point is, I think she struggles with women like this because they don't need her for anything. You're not gonna,
They don't.
they don't need you to pay their bills. They don't need you to hire them for anything. They have their own money. They're just as much of a boss as you. And I think
Especially
somebody
that
like,
Shamia. She
yeah.
got more money than God.
And I think that's why it bothers her too that like Drew Sidora, like I guess she feels better than Drew Sidora because she finds her to be like a crab in the barrel. But no, she's sitting on the same platform as you, K Michelle, because she's somebody too. She has an
Like,
interesting
she
dynamic as
just,
well.
yeah, Kay needs to just get with the program or leave.
Yeah, and the episode ends off with K Michelle and Shamia starting to go at it about something regarding the Mean Girls of Atlanta. It cuts off there. They're like, they're like, well, you want to get into it? No, you get into it because you said it, and that's kind of where it ends. So, first episode, first reunion. Now that I sat here and kind of like lightly watched it back as we were talking, and I give it like a C plus. Like I said, the first
Yeah.
15 minutes was literally them just yapping. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, if I'm being honest.
I think it's a good thing for them because it shows that Andy likes them.
And he always has, like,
So,
you can tell he always has a
yeah.
good time with
He
Atlanta's
loves
reunions.
funny women. And that's why he likes a lot with Giselle and a lot of the ladies on Potomac. He loves a funny black woman.
Yeah, yeah. And again,
Nene.
it's like, the black women are unmatched with our reads and how we kind of put words together. It's almost like rapping for us, how we put words
Yeah.
together in the moment and stuff like that. Like we do just have that gift. I can't explain it. And
Yeah.
I see like other women, like they'll have like they'll try, but it's like close but no cigar. Like I said, Lindsay's reads just never land for me. It's like the plane goes up and then it goes all the way down. Like she just can never keep it together. So yeah, I mean, some of like that's another reason why I love Bethany, or I loved Bethany back in her heyday. Those
Yeah.
one-liners that used to come off
She's
her,
quick. She's
she was
very witty.
quick-witted.